Hello lovers and welcome to, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to say it, but the first episode of season 2 of Oh So Smitten, the wedding podcast. We're starting season 2 off by chatting with the beautiful Jemma from the Guestbook Collective. Now, when you combine two creatives with the love of aesthetically pleasing things and a sprinkle of loving affirmations, you get the love child that is the Guestbook Collective. Jemma and her husband Shane recently said I do last year at a divine historic property, Carrick Hill in South Australia. When searching for the perfect guest book for their day, they, and when I say they, I mean Jemma, wanted to be able to reminisce on all the little love notes that their favourite people left for them and read them for years to come. Of course, they wanted it to be a highlight of their home and not shoved to the back of a cupboard, as mine is, and forgotten about. So of course, as two creatives do, they decided to create their own, as each guest book that they came across just didn't fit their vision. They adored it so much that they knew they couldn't keep it to themselves, so they've decided to share the loves for those planning their day. With a range of colours to fit any theme and the option to create custom details, I just had to share these beauties with you all as well. After this episode, you'll be choosing whether you want to bring colourful or classic tones of black and white to your day. Jemma is there throughout the whole process, so definitely head over to her Instagram to do a cheeky stalk before you order. But for now, let's get into today's episode. Welcome, Jemma. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to get in and share all the juicy details about your beautiful, divine guest books that you have created. But firstly, I want to hear all the details about your day because you have recently said I do to your now husband, Shane.
Yes, we said I do at the start of the year in February. We actually had a surprise wedding. So
You're kidding me.
Yeah, so we got married in a really intimate ceremony there was 25 people there plus our bridal party. So it was just immediate family and bridal party partners and a couple of close friends. Yep. And then that night we had our engagement party / my 30th because my 30th was the next day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and our videographer put together the wedding snippet in like 2 hours and we had a 1-minute video played at the party that night to say they were actually attending our wedding.
Oh my gosh, I just got goosebumps myself.
Yeah, it was awesome. I come from a really big family, so it was really nice to be able to celebrate with everyone that we love, but also have a really intimate ceremony with those that we're super, super close with and see just about every week or so.
Yeah, and I guess like tie those two things combined because essentially it's so hard to sometimes have people travel for an engagement party but then also ask them to do that same thing. And I mean there's all those hens parties like a part of that too, so that makes it difficult when people need to travel. But that is so much fun. As a celebrant, like whenever someone comes to me and is like, we're looking at doing a surprise wedding, I'm like, yes.
Yeah. It was so much fun. Our celebrant was awesome. We actually did a wingman ceremony. So my brother was the one who did all the stories. My brothers, I've got 2 and they're both quite funny and really charismatic. So he did all the talking about our story and stuff. And then we had our celebrant who did all the legal side of things, which also flowed really nicely because we just wanted to be like really casual and the nighttime we wanted to be a huge party, which it was.
Yeah. Oh, so fun. And I love that when couples come to me and they're like, we just want to have a party. I'm like, I'm a celebrant for you.
Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. Just a big party. And it definitely was a big party.
Oh, so amazing. Now, you have created these divine guest books and this all came about from your wedding.
Yeah, so guest books was something we left super last minute, like I'm talking 4 weeks. I don't have a guest book. And I was like, we know we're going to receive cards, obviously, but also I was a bit like, well, people are thinking it's our engagement party. They don't realize it's our wedding. So they're not going to probably write things like they would if it was a wedding. We were looking at what to do, whether we wanted to go like an audio guest book, physical guest book, and everywhere I was looking, they were just like they'd stick out. And I think our house, we're in the middle of renovations. So I was, I don't really want to just stick it in a cupboard and then forget about it. I want it kind of out on display, whether it's on a bookshelf or a coffee table. And I said to my husband, I was like, why don't we just like design our own? He's like, Jem, I don't think it's that easy just to design your own guest book. I was like, well, we can design it. Like we just gonna have to find how to put it all together. And so it took him a little while. That was his only job getting ready for the wedding, was to get him and the boys ready and to organize the guest book. I was so happy to organize everything else, but I left that up to him. Yeah, he came through the goods. So I've actually got the original one here, which is now so dirty. It's been our like sample and what we've been comparing everything to. This is the original here.
Amazing. And so is that the one that you used for your wedding?
Yeah, this has got all of our notes in there somewhere. Yeah, that's got all of our
Oh, beautiful.
notes in there. When I end up posting it on TikTok, and that's how it really went, how it did, because we just had a huge amount of people being like, where do I get these? And we were like, oh, maybe this is something we actually need to be doing.
And I think that that's what drew me initially, was just the beautiful designs. I think it's just like, oh, what's that? I need one of those. And then this fact that I saw that it was all wedding related, I was like, we need to talk about this more. I also shared something on my Instagram, which I had so many people reach back out to me being like, I'm about to order mine. I just can't choose what color I want. So yeah, I'm so excited for them to hear this episode, because I think it will just help them be able to answer those questions that they might have in regards to design colors, the process, all those bits and bobs that are kind of a part of it, and to just alleviate any of the stress, I guess, in the lead up to the wedding. It can be quite overwhelming. So anything that we can answer, perfect.
Yeah, exactly right. Organizing a wedding, I remember saying to my husband, like, I feel like at the moment my thoughts are just consumed constantly by work, wedding. Like, you don't get a chance to switch off when you're in wedding planning mode. So anything to make it a little bit easier for other couples getting married, ask away.
Yeah. And I remember after my wedding, I remember just thinking, what do I do now? I have all this spare time.
Yeah.
I have all this thoughts process that I can just like think about other things. So then I was like, let's renovate a house.
It's like I've got so much free time, energy, and money.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. So looking back on your day, did you just adore every decision that you made?
Yeah, I actually used to do events like years ago, and I had a fair idea as to what I wanted. Like I said before as well, we just wanted a big party, but I really wanted to bring in like traditional wedding styles, but then also bring in like stuff that isn't so traditional. So like we had like a full cocktail style wedding, and obviously the surprise wedding as well. I also had, because it was a surprise wedding, I couldn't wear my wedding dress at night to start off with, because that would be obvious.
Yeah.
So I had to get like a 2-piece sequin set made up and stuff like that. But yeah, everything that I organized, or that we organized, everything was just absolutely perfect. There's a photo of me walking in from the ceremony when it was just the 30 odd people that had arrived with us, and my face in this photo is like like I am like, oh my god, this face is awesome. Like all the vendors we chose were absolutely unreal to work with, and I, if I had sent through like a simple question, it was never too hard for them to answer. Like we were very, very fortunate with all the decisions we made.
Yeah, amazing. Well, it sounds incredible, and the fact that it was just a surprise, like who could not be happy with that?
Yeah, definitely. And I think because it was a surprise, like on one side of my family, it's quite a traditional Italian family.
Yeah.
And I was a bit concerned about how they may react, but they all had the best time, because none of them had ever been to a surprise wedding. So it was just like the best time ever.
If you were even having a bad day, like on that day, and then that news was shared, like you just couldn't be happier being able to then celebrate. Your mood would just lift automatically.
110%. Like there's no way you can have a bad day at a surprise wedding.
So what did you find was like the biggest struggle when searching for a guest book for your day? Was it just the designs, the lack of choices?
Yeah, hugely. Probably the shape of a lot of them I found. So the shape of a lot of them are often kind of like ours are portrait, where a lot of them are almost landscape or totally square.
Yeah.
So when it comes to stacking them on a coffee table, on a bookshelf, especially if it was a narrower bookshelf, if it was a landscape version, it would stick out and overhang. And I said to my husband, like, I knew for a fact that it would just end up in a cupboard and not get used. A lot of them are also quite thin.
Yeah.
So they don't stand out. They're not that bold type color. If they were sitting on a bookshelf, they wouldn't stand out. And I really wanted it to stand out. I love rereading like little love letters and cards. I'm an absolute sucker for a good card. And yeah, I wanted basically the guest book to be able to be on display for us to, or for me to be able to reread all the notes that all of our loved ones popped in there, which is exactly, what it is.
Yeah, incredible. It's funny that you say that, because thinking back to my day, like I remember it was definitely a last minute thought of us having a wedding book. I'm pretty sure I like got one from the shops, and I was just going to chuck Polaroid camera like photos in it. I don't even know if we ended up doing it, and it's definitely in a memory box somewhere. So it's not sitting beautifully on a coffee table that I wish. So all these brides who are planning their day are so lucky to be able to choose from so many different designs. So do you currently have the 5 designs?
Yes, so we've got 5 designs at the moment. All are available in 3 different colorways. I've got a couple here with me as well. So we've got 5 designs. We are looking at releasing a 6th design designs. So by the time this episode airs, there will be a 6th one online. We release the Polaroid books as well, as you would have seen. They are also all available in the 5 designs and in 3 colorways as well. And we've got a new range as well that we will also be releasing.
Lots happening behind the scenes, which is super exciting. And I guess, as I was saying to you earlier before we started recording, that yourself and your partner have some incredible knowledge and background with what you do in your full-time jobs. So I guess that makes it a lot easier with coming up with designs.
Definitely. He is the design guru. He'll probably have a bit of a head wobble if he heard me say that. Maybe just like cancel that out the podcast. But we are looking at, for instance, at releasing a hens range. And I said to him yesterday, can I design one of them? He's like, no. I really want to do this. And I was like, oh, okay. So he is the design guru. He loves it. Everything about design, absolutely loves it. So all the design concepts at the moment, I will give him a color scheme or style that I really like and just basically let him run with it and go wild, which is exactly what he's done with all of our designs.
Yeah, incredible. I was only just going to say to you that I was talking to someone prior when they reached out on the Instagram to say, I'm so excited, I can't choose what colors. And they were also sharing that they were like, I'm thinking this color for their engagement party and then this color for their wedding day, just to be able to suit the different themes that they have. And I was, just going to say how fun you can have it for so many different moments in the lead up to your day as well. So, with that being the hens party, the engagement party, and then the day itself.
Definitely. So I've actually got a little snippet, a little sneak peek of a hens one here.
Fun.
So this is going to be one of our hens books. We've got a couple more designs as well that will be released when we do finally release the hens books. And we're going to have a couple of different options at this stage. So there's going to be a blank page option. So the pages are all completely blank, but there's also going to be prompts. I know at my hens is a prime example. Everyone got given these little beautiful cards and they had to write their name, advice for bride and groom, and our favorite memory with them. I didn't read them out. That was for me to basically read the next day, which I loved, except one of my good friends took them home and every time we catch up, I forget to get them off her. So my hens was 6 months ago and I still have got no idea what anyone wrote on it. So to have it in a book form will be really lovely for bachelorette and hens parties.
Yeah, so fun. And sometimes you do need those prompts because otherwise you have so much amazing things that you want to say, but you're like, hang on, I just need something to prompt me to know exactly what it is that I want to share.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we're going to be releasing smaller versions of our Polaroid books. So our Polaroid books were released last week. We're going to be releasing our smaller versions, which are the same size as our guest books, but have got 20 pages because the pages have to be thicker. So they're going to have 20 pages, which is perfect for your intimate style hens parties with less than 40 guests.
Yeah, definitely. And is there the concept or idea where people can use the one book for the different events, or is it more of using a different book for each different event?
Definitely people, and we've said this as well to a lot of people because we get asked, for instance, when we release the Polaroid books, people were asking if they could put disposable films in there or photo booth strips. The books are yours to do whatever you wish with it. Like, it is completely your decision. Even with these books, we definitely don't recommend putting in Polaroids in these books because they don't have the page spaces in there. But if you do and you're not fussed that it bulges, then by all means, it just won't sit flat on your coffee table and it's not designed to do that. But the books are completely up to you with what you do with them. If you want one big book for all of your events, then by all means, you could definitely do it that way and then just customize it to have, for instance, your name, and it might have just the year of all your events in, and it might have the one main location on there, or it might just have the city that all the events are being held at. So they're totally customizable to suit what you are after and what the couple are really wanting for their day or events.
Yeah, beautiful. And I love that you also have the designs for people to choose from, but then there's the different colorways that you've spoken about, because sometimes it's almost done for you. It's not something else that you have to design, like invitation or any of your stationery, because I guess for people during their wedding planning phase is all the questions. I have had couples before and they're like, if any vendor asks me one more question, I'm going to scream. The decision making is almost taken out for them.
That's exactly right. And we really wanted it to be a really easy process for people to be able to purchase and have one. So the page book, which I've got actually here now, this is not a sample, so I've covered up the venue and date, but this one here is a prime example. So it's a really simple book. Yeah, it's a super simple book and it can go with anything. So this is actually our most popular design, but if people want this in a sage, they've got the option. But then we've also got it in a hot pink and gold. So if they want something a bit more jazzed up, then they've got that option too. Then they can also do a custom colorway. Say they love this book, say they want a black background with white writing or white text, then we can do that as well. So there's just additional fees to change the colorways from our standard design options. And then on the flip side of that, if they want it to match their current stationery set absolutely to a T, they can do a totally custom design. So they just send us through their stationery or their mood board, if that's on Pinterest or just an image, and then we create the designs to match exactly what they are looking for as well.
Oh, incredible. That's just going to be like music to some people's ears who are planning, because as you've said in your little bio or description on your website, is that like you just love everything matching and to be so aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, I am the worst for that. My husband probably never wanted to hear me say aesthetically pleasing ever again between renovations and wedding planning. But I wanted everything to match at our wedding. So that's why we went with the pink, purple, and red design, because our florals were all pink, purple, and red.
Yeah.
So we had hints of that throughout the whole wedding. Our invites were that. Everything was basically matching. So this is really similar. This is kind of based on what our invites were like.
Yep.
So when we were designing it, I wanted it all to totally match. So I do understand as well, if people do want everything to match, then they would go the custom design option as well.
Incredible. So what is the process for a couple who are planning their day and have decided that they definitely need this as part of their wedding day for their beautiful family and friends to leave memories and those love notes in? What is the process for them?
So we've got the online shop, which they are able to shop directly the custom color, if they want custom colors or the current designs. They just add it to their cart. When they go to add to cart, it will pop up with a little box just to input their details into. They input it as they want and as they want it to appear. From there, they do choose custom color at checkout. It will ask you to input the custom colors that you're wanting to swap out. From there, you'll get a design proof. So before it goes to print, we send a proof to the customer just to ensure that it is perfect. For instance, sometimes their names might be shorter than what the sample books on the website are, so it might look a little bit different. So we've then got options there to tweak it. So say, for instance, this one here is a really good example, because if the names are really long, then we might put it on across 2 lines, and they've got the option of either putting their nicknames in or their shortened names, or having them on 2 lines. So it's just a really good way of ensuring that the customer is going to be totally happy with what they get.
Yeah.
Once they sign off on that proof, we go to print, and then from print, it's laminated. They've all got a soft touch laminate, which just makes it super easy to clean and wipe spills off and everything else. Still don't recommend spilling anything on it, but if it does get a spill on it, majority of the time, it is able to come off pretty easily. From there, it is then bound, and we then post it. So the binding process takes anywhere between 48, 72 hours, depending on the weather as well.
Yeah, incredible. So how far out does a couple need to order before their day?
We say 4 to 6 weeks plus postage. With that being said, though, today is a really good example. If we've got an extra print run going, then we are able to look at more that 4-week mark. But we always say if it is going to be tight and we're looking 3 to 4 weeks, just send us a message and we'll be able to let you know. As well, if we do have someone who puts in an order, for example, a couple of weeks ago, we had a few couples put in an order and they were late July, and they're like, look, we're pushing it because we're heading to the 3-4 week mark. Are we going to be okay? We'll notify you if it's not going to be okay. Yeah. So we'll always let you know if we don't think we're going to make it, or if we're going to have to look at a quicker shipping option as well. So yeah, 4 to 6 weeks ideally, but there are times where it is 3 to 4 weeks. It just all depends.
Yeah. And it's like, for those who listening and know that they want one for their day, it's just like, just get in, order it, start the planning process around choosing colors, because sometimes that can take time too as well, like the to and fro of what colors. I know for me, I'm terrible at making decisions. So I'd be like, I love the, classic black and white one. That's the one that I was initially drawn to straight away. But then also like pop of colors, like you definitely have to have one like that for your hens.
Definitely right. So I always say, like, if you can be organized, and also like it's so satisfying ticking stuff off your Excel spreadsheet to your to-do list when wedding planning, just tick it off. If you guys can order 6 months in advance, it's done. It's going to be there waiting for you when you do get married. So the only thing would be making a decision whether you go Polaroid or original guest books. But I've also said we had a few couples who had ordered the original guest book from us, and then with the Polaroid release, I'm like, oh, what do I do? Like, we're getting married this week, so it wouldn't have arrived in time. There was quite a few people in the same boat. But it's like, well, if you do have Polaroids at your wedding, just purchase a Polaroid book and stick them in yourself post the wedding. So you do have options there, but as long as you've got one, notes are really important to you. As long as you've got one that your guests can write in, you'll be fine.
Exactly. And so is there a certain type of Polaroid film camera that you suggest, or can it accommodate to really any?
It can accommodate really to any. I've got like a sample, so it's a book block, which is basically like the guts of a book here. I can show you. This is going to be on our mini ones. When we do release our mini ones, this is what it will look like. Basically, each page, if you can kind of see it there, it's got page guards. So what that is, it just stops it from bulging out by the time you do put it in. So the page guards have been designed to fit a Polaroid in there. Polaroids are quite thick, so it will also fit photo booth strips and disposable film photos in there as well. So it has been designed to be able to suit a variety of different photos. With that being said as well, I know these small books, we've got a couple of people who are wanting to look at ordering them to put their honeymoon boarding passes and stuff in. So they're going to be designed as more travel books because they are a lot smaller for them people to be able to savor their honeymoon little memories throughout. So receipts and boarding passes, tickets and things like that in that.
I love that you're just really intentionally thinking about the whole process and what is involved in planning a wedding and all those to show that you just love all those keepsake moments.
Yeah, I definitely have got like every birthday card from everyone since I reckon I was 15 years of age in a box. I just love it. I love the little keepsake memories. I think that, you know, it's so nice to go back. And I know like my grandparents, for instance, they're not around anymore, but my grandma used to make cards, and to go back and have a look at her handwriting and look back at the little love letters she used to write in my cards. It's just, it's so lovely to be able to look back on things like that.
So beautiful. So what has the response been like from those that have ordered a book, it's arrived? Are they reaching back out to you just telling you how much they love it?
Incredible. Like the first couple of messages we got, I was like, Shane, oh my God, like people are loving these. It's been incredible. Like yesterday I got another one. I had to message a bride who I took some videos before I posted books off last week, and I always ask if I can use it, because if it is a surprise wedding, I always make sure the finer details are hidden, so it might just be their names, which could be anyone then. But if there is a location and their names, for instance, I ensure that they are okay with me posting it. And her response was just unreal. Like, she said how beautiful it was. It was absolutely perfect. And we've had quite a few of those messages, which is so nice. Like, weddings are so, so special, and to be able to be a really small part in someone's day, it's so lovely. I love it.
But you say small part, but really is such a big part, because it's those memories that you're like providing for them like afterwards. And I know that we've had an audio guest book on the podcast before. I've also spoken about how much I just love my videographers, like video that they gave us for our wedding. And I just think it's all those moments that after the day is all done, it's you're kind of reaching for those moments that you're just like, hang on, I just really want to relive that. So being able to like read through the guest book and really just reminisce on the day is really special.
Yeah, that's a very good way of looking at it. It is. It's a really lovely way to be able to reminisce. And also it's going to always be on your bookshelf or your coffee table as well. So easy for you to pull out and read.
Yeah, definitely. So you've got so much planned for the future with like different products, and I think adjustments to the current products that you have. So the smaller versions for people who are having smaller weddings. So accommodating to just all the beautiful couples who are getting married, which is so lovely. Do you have a piece of advice for those getting married, just from reflection from your wedding day, that you'd like to share?
Try to block out the background noise. And that's so hard, but I think try to block out the background noise. You know deep down what you want for your day. You know how you visualize it. People, when it comes to wedding planning, we get so worried we're going to upset someone or someone's not going to be happy with it. But at the end of the day, it's your day, and you're going to look back and do the things that, if you do the things that you wanted to do, you're going to look back and be grateful that you did, rather than listen to other people and take their advice and then kind of put aside what you really, really want. So just block out the background noise and just do exactly what you want to do.
I love that, because you're not going back and reflecting on it and going like, oh, I really wish I didn't make that decision for somebody else. Yeah, making it for you, which is so important, because it is so easy to get swept up in all the chaos.
Definitely. And especially with us having a surprise wedding, there was a couple of people that questioned why we did it. Post-wedding, after it was all done, it was like, okay, we understand now. We understand why you did it. It was the best time. We totally get it. But if I listened to them and looked at doing a big wedding, it would have completely changed the way our day was, and it would have completely changed how we felt about our day as well. So I definitely think blocking out the background noise is so important when organising a wedding.
Yes, love that piece of advice. It's so beautiful. Now, where is it best for people to inquire? Is it through Instagram? Is it through your website? Where can they find you?
Instagram is great because you will see straight up behind the scenes. I'm often showing samples of books on there. I'm very active with Q&As on our Instagram, so definitely follow us there to keep up to date with all of our releases, which is just at the Guestbook Collective. Our website is where you can make a purchase, which is www.theguestbookcollective.com.au. You also can lodge custom inquiries through the website as well, but that is where you can purchase, and Instagram is where basically we show all behind the scenes and new upcoming releases and things like that.
Amazing. I love that it's just for you guys. It's who you're talking to when someone inquires. They are chatting to you, the ones who are designing it, the ones who are packing it, the ones who are sending it off. It's probably so nice and so, I guess, calming for those who are planning their day and just want, I feel that it's people who are ordering these beautiful guest books have the same attention to detail and eye for design that you guys both have. So it would be so nice knowing that, you're chatting to the ones who are creating and designing it.
Yeah, everyone who messages us, it is always me. Sometimes it's Shane pretending to be me, but it's normally me.
I love that. He's like, now think like Jemma. How would Jemma write?
If I'm driving and we get a message come through, because we do have a chat functionality on the website, he'll call me and be like, Jemma, we've got this message. Like, what would you say?
Oh my gosh, that is too good. Sometimes if I ever have to write a message for my husband, same thing. He's driving and he's like, can you just write back to this? I really get invested in it and really think how would he write? Like, hey, bud.
Yeah. Hey, mate, how's it going? Yep, cool, cheers.
Not too much commas or full stops. I leave all them out because I just try and make it really casual.
And not too many emojis, otherwise I'll know it's definitely you.
Oh, that is just too good. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I have had such a lovely time learning more about the books. Obviously, I did the biggest stalk on all your socials to find out more about all the things. But I guess for those people who are listening, they're going to be so excited. Definitely go order your book, choose the design, have a think about how it's going to be an added element to your day and just make it that extra bit special.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, lovers, that is all there is time for today. As always, I am here for you as you plan your dream day. If you loved today's episode, I would be so appreciative if you left a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. As you indulge, be sure to tag Oh So Smitten on your socials so I can feature you and, of course, do a sneaky follow and stalk on your wedding day. Be sure to check out the official Smitten Love Book, a place to support one another through this important milestone in your life. Within the community, choose kindness, and as always, I acknowledge the land in which I'm recording this podcast. I can't wait to chat next week, lovers. Bye-bye.